Hot Button.
Who'd thought the Wendy's and ice cream I had for breakfast is catching up to me? My head and insides hurt. I'm a grown man. I can die whenever I want to.
Alcohol will make you feel better, though.
Don't tell him what time it is.
Alcohol.
We're recording this at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Alcohol and milk, dairy mix well.
Yeah.
It's a known fact.
That's why there's a lot of bars that offer, beer milkshakes.
I mean, mudslides are a thing.
That's true.
Sounds like something my mom
Chocolate
would drink.
liqueur.
Yeah.
I just whenever I want to be ill, I just think about it all mixed together in my stomach.
I mean,
Like
hey,
a nice visual
ice cream,
of everything.
Wendy's,
if you're gonna eat or drink something that your body's not supposed to digest, you might as well just pile it all together.
Yeah, it's true. I'm gonna have some corn for later.
Corn, milk, and alcohol mixed together in a glass.
It's got to be a drink.
That's the new Hot Button official cocktail. It's just heavy cream, vodka,
And corn.
and corn
Floating in
fresh
it.
off the cob. Yeah.
All right. for all future live performances, that's the food that will be
If
offered.
somebody tries to give me that drink, I'll fucking knock it out of your hand.
I call it a hot toddy. I just thought of it.
That's got to be a drink already.
It is. Isn't that like
Sriracha.
that's whiskey
That's heavy
heated
cream vodka and tater tots.
up? Fuck.
And chives.
That's a good cold open.
All right.
Hold on, I thought of one more drink. Instead of a hot potato, it's a hard potato. Like if
Like a
you're
raw
like
potato?
No, like hard cider. It's
Oh.
hard potato. It's
So you just inject the
it's just like
potato
a
with
big
vodka?
yes, a big potato full of vodka.
Did you know? Fun
Yeah,
fact.
the
fun
way
hot button
that
fact.
sorority girls do with watermelon. Just
Fun
Yeah.
hot button fact. Did you know that vodka is made out of potatoes?
Yeah, I like it.
It's like bringing it back to where it came from.
Random gets it. It seems like it's like a watermelon. Hard potato.
You guys are giving me some ideas for tonight. A bunch of things not to do.
All right. Well, on the way to your house tonight, I will bring some creamed corn. Yo, we don't need the heavy cream.
Oh, God.
Just pour vodka and creamed corn. Yo, I'm so smart. All right, keep going.
How's your stomach feeling now?
It's better.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the final part of Hot Button's 2019 Game of the Year Series Special.
This is the longest multi-part we've done since fucking the third episode.
No, the ESRB one was
yeah,
3.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, today, of course, being a follow-up and recap of Jeff Keighley's The Game Awards, which premiered just a couple days ago on December 12th. If you have not yet, please go check out the previous 2 episodes to hear our full discussion on the nominations list, as well as our personal picks, bets, and snubs. Now that the winners have officially been chosen, it's time to see just how we all scored. I'm a disappointed Randall Peters, here with the fellow Academy of Hot Button judges, Austin Blakesley and Chris Anantuano.
I would just like to go back and say that Jason edited it out, but I said Disco Elysium was my favorite game of all time.
I don't remember that.
I was right.
Yeah, I also did say that. I remember.
Yeah,
and
I said it, and Jason hates that game so
I
much
think
he edited
Jason
it
actually
out.
got paid for tattoo laser removal because I had a Disco Elysium tattoo when I went to
And they
bed.
did it while you were sleeping.
Yeah, when I went to bed on Thursday night, I had one, and
Yeah.
it's just not here anymore.
It was even strange for him to replace it with an ESO one. That,
Yeah, well, no, that's the part that makes sense.
Jason just going around tattooing people with that logo.
it might be on us. We just haven't found it yet.
It's a good
shit.
MMO, I promise. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I did write down in our list of things that was just a trailer or an ad like in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like towards the very end of the event that night. It was just like Jason being like, "What?"
All right.
So, with the exception of that one extremely surprising reveal that we will absolutely get into soon, what did you guys think of 2019's The Game Awards?
Kind of boring.
Remember, no spoilers.
Honestly,
just in case.
honestly, I thought you invited me over to watch the X Games and was very disappointed and confused.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I just guess it was just kind of like
a lot of work does get put into the production.
Absolutely.
Of it.
There's no
And
denying that it wasn't cool.
It feels like E3 the way they do like a lot of the.
Yes.
The Game Awards itself were very well produced. It was just like the announcements were just kind of
A little lackluster compared to previous years, and a lot of
Yeah.
the things like the leaks that we thought we were going to get turned out kind of to be bunk. But there was, that one kind of major one.
Well,
but
also, I think another
other
thing
than that,
I would have to say about it is I don't like. I'm trying to think of another way to do it, and the truth is I don't
the
know.
format, it's hard.
Yeah. The listing of the minor awards just seems very
Unceremonious.
unceremonious,
Yeah.
and kind of just like I don't know. I guess unceremonious probably is the best word for it. Just very just like secondhand.
I agree.
Like afterthought. That's what I'm looking
Yeah,
for. Seems like
they
an
literally
afterthought.
did like some major awards in the pre-show which is disappointing. And I assume that because of how much it costs to keep everything running and the fact that it's at a live venue for an audience, there's probably in the same way like the Academy Awards are, they're very pushed for time. They even have straight up like these screens that tell you to rush up your speeches
Yeah.
and everything. Like you get escorted out now. I understand like it's an unfortunate side effect of like, hey, people are paying for this to keep the lights on, so like they can't spend the time on everything as much as I wish they
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is
Watch
weird.
the highlights.
Over the years, hopefully this will kind of grow and change into being a little bit more like
Now, this is the first Game Awards I've watched in a while.
yeah.
So I guess I just don't really remember too
Yeah.
much of the last couple
They
of
do
years.
have a lot of viewers. I'm curious what their numbers were this year,
Mm-hmm.
because last year they broke quite a few records. But without further delay, the pre-show started. Well, it started at 8:30, right? Because that's what we said it was, and then they had like a ticker.
Yeah.
I forgot. I wish I wrote her name down, but there was a co-host who she did the sort of the pre-show. But the first award that they revealed was interestingly, this is an odd way to start it. I think was community support, which was I guess is the other half of the ongoing game kind of award.
Yeah. Which did that get a full announcement thing or no?
I believe it did. I don't know why.
Yes, it did. I remember.
Yes,
I remember.
it did.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because I remember who won.
Yeah, me too. So I guess, and just for us to save time, I guess we're not going to read through all of the nominations again. Just say the winner.
Yeah, because this is America, and if our political system is winner takes all, so are we. Forget about the other people.
If you want to know who the nominations were, like I said, either look them up or listen to our. In fact, yeah, don't look them up. Just listen to our old episodes.
Fuck them.
You can't Google this; it's not out there.
That is true. How about is the only place now that you can find archived information of the Game Award nominees?
But best community support went to Destiny 2,
Yes.
who I did lose.
Randy voted for Final Fantasy 14, and me and Chris voted for Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Like smarts.
Yeah. Well, I figured the lackluster kind of response to that last big kind of expansion.
They just embody that community support, baby.
Sure. All right. I looked at it wrong, I guess, but I think my personal pick was Siege, right? But yes, that was Destiny 2's victory right there.
Deserved.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not against that. And then our first big trailer was for DLC for Ultimate Alliance 3, which we were in a room with some people that seemed to enjoy that game.
Ultimate Alliance
Nah.
3.
Yeah, that's the sequel to Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. It's the Marvel, like,
Oh.
kind of.
Did I totally miss that, maybe? I don't even remember
was
that.
literally the first thing. They showed a game called Salem. I think that was like a part of their. They had the segment that would come back every once in a while about global gaming citizens, like kind of honoring developers from all over the world. Yeah. But then our first big award. This was best music and score, which I believe Chris has still got 2 for 2 now with Death Stranding.
Yeah, baby.
And which is funny because if I voted with my heart, I would have got that. But
Chris voted for Death Stranding. I voted for Devil May Cry 5. Snubbed.
yes,
And you voted for Cadence of Hyrule.
right, I did. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. But Devil May Cry did get snubbed. That song is
I'm happy
killer.
about Death Stranding taking it. So that's cool. So I am currently at Zip. Austin,
that'll
you're at
change.
1, Chris, you're at 2. It will. Then was the they said world premiere of this game. They used that kind of language a bunch throughout the night, but there was a game that they showed called Maneater. But I think they've showed this before,
Yeah,
right?
It's the game
Yeah.
form of the song.
I'm
that
very
song?
against this game.
It looks like Jaws Unleashed. If anyone ever played that PS2 Xbox game.
It does. I enjoy the cartoony explosions and all that. I don't like the general sentiment that sharks just kill humans.
relentlessly.
Yeah, I don't like that. I've been always very against that. I hate Shark Week. It's like you're supposed to be the people that are protecting animals, you idiots, not villainizing the ones who really aren't worth it.
I kind of never thought about it that way, but that is sort of fucked up.
Yeah.
Hall and Oates.
Yeah.
What's did this song?
Yeah, I knew that
forgot.
joke. Why did
I asked you did it. You didn't say anything.
No.
No, in the beginning of
Did
the
you have to look up Manny there?
Yeah,
I did.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
At the beginning of the trailer, it did say like tongue in cheek.
How many people are killed?
It was like this many people are killed every year by sharks, and it was like 3. And then it was like this many sharks are killed every year by people, and it was like
did
way
they do
higher.
that? Okay.
I
And
didn't
it was
see
like
that.
They're
now
like,
it's-
that's about to
yeah,
change.
so it's like now it's your turn to level the playing field or something like that. That's how the
that's what I
trailer
said. The only
started.
thing
Still
that's redeeming
stupid,
about
but-
it is it's just absolute absurd qualities.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? I enjoy like the explosions. I think it'll be fun, to be honest.
Wait, is it like the AVP multiplayer games where it's like one team of
No.
people plays as human, one plays as sharks, or
It's
are
not
you all
multiplayer.
sharks?
It's a single player action RPG.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you level up your shark and then you can kill people faster or something.
It's going to be brilliant.
All right.
Game of the Year next year award nominee.
Well, one thing they did right in this pre-show was to just fire through all the esports categories the same way
Just
we
like
did.
us.
So
Let's get this out. We don't care about the biggest money-making arm in gaming.
yeah, so best esports coach was Zonic. Best esports event went to the League of Legends one. What is that called?
I think it's just the League World Championships.
Okay. Best esports host is
Jacques.
No, there's a Z in there.
I forget how to pronounce
He's
it.
so white. I think you're right, though. I think it is that.
Is it Jocks?
I think it's Shocks.
okay.
I think is how you say it.
All right. Your name is stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, congrats on getting over cancer.
Wait, really?
Don't worry about it. Keep going. Keep making fun of her.
I already have an apology in here that I'm gonna have to get to from the previous episode, but best esports team was G2 Esports. Was it like the first year that like Liquid lost? Like they like consistently get it. Up next was a trailer for a game called Humankind.
Yeah, the
do you remember
Civ
this
clone.
one? Was
Yeah.
that? Yeah, that was the one that was like straight up Civ.
It looks like a Sid Meier's game.
It does, but even the way that the characters were animated and like the UI of the map laid
Yeah.
out, I remember.
It's hard to try and do something new in a genre that's like been so defined by the original like creator.
I understand it,
You
but
know
at
what I
least
mean?
try another aesthetic
Wait,
or
now,
something.
That
I
was
don't-
another woman that had cancer. Another woman presenter for League. Or no, that was the Dota one that had cancer.
How many people have cancer in esports?
Just the one.
Tons,
I got it wrong
dude.
though. Because all women are the same, right, guys?
That's a hop on official slogan.
I'm not speaking.
No, you only made fun of the deaf person.
That's in my apology. We'll get there.
They're not gonna. You gotta cut that out. That's middle school humor. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah,
This is Humankind.
yeah. It's like that Gears XCOM game. That's what it's called because it's like
Gearscom?
somebody already defined the
Yeah,
genre.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's hard to make a game like that without being like, it looks like Civ, and it's like maybe it has something more to offer. have no
I
idea.
guess, but it's like Gears in that like Mario and Rabbids game don't look like XCOM.
No,
like
they have
even
the,
if they
have the
like,
advantage of aesthetic
Yeah.
like differences, which makes it cool. You know,
This one has an avatar system that I
don't
did not
understand.
listen to their explanation of, but I'm sure that's different. I mean, there's value in like being like the Path of Exile and just basically making
True.
Diablo 2 again because people were, you know,
There
it's like
absolutely
maybe
is
people
value,
didn't like
yeah.
Civ 6, so they just made Civ 5 again and
it's
changed
like a
whatever,
city skyline.
changed back whatever they
Yeah,
changed.
people love City Skylines.
Yeah.
But here's the difference: is that Path of Exile is free.
That's
Right?
true, yeah.
City Skylines is like a $40
Also,
game.
Civ didn't fuck up in the same way SimCity did to warrant another team coming in and
Yeah.
making what people actually wanted.
It
Yeah.
might be cool. I'm sure it'll get a little bit of attention, but
Yeah, we'll see.
Everybody copying off 2K. Because that's who makes both XCOM and Civ.
Yeah.
Firaxis.
Yep.
Then there was something I was excited and surprised about was the premiere of No More Heroes 3, which was previously already announced after that fucking terrible Travis Strikes Again game. I think at the beginning of the first part, we were making a joke about what the worst games were we played this year. That's probably the worst game I played
Yes.
this year. Yeah.
The trailer for No More Heroes 3 was cool.
It was cool.
Did you
Yeah,
see
we're gonna
there's-
kind of subvert.
I don't
like,
have this ready, and it probably won't be in the sources because Twitter makes it impossible to find stuff. But there was a Twitter thread I was reading today where they were talking about how that trailer was done by like a bunch of different animators.
That looks
Because
like
like
it,
the
yeah.
beginning of it was
yeah.
in 2D, and then the end of it was in 3D, and they had to like have two
different frame
separate
rates or
groups of
something. Yeah.
animators work together, and the lighting had to be done twice, once for the 2D people and once for the 3D people. It's very cool.
It's kind of
thread.
wild. You finished Travis Strikes Again, and doesn't that game end with you saying, like, this isn't the real game, keep an eye out for the
Yeah.
real one.
Yeah,
It's going to
and
use
then-
Unreal 4 or
And then
whatever.
you get to play as Travis in like an
In
like
third
a
person for
weird-
like a second?
like a weird empty room that's not lit at all and has like those base texture on the wall.
That's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that game, shortly after the Travis Strikes Again came out, they did announce that they were doing this game, and it's been kind of quiet since, is the first sort of...
I've never played No More Heroes. This is the one where the guy uses the Beat Saber gun, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville, as
and you
he's
have to
modeled
jerk-
after.
You have to jerk off to charge it
You
back.
do, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You also take a shit to save.
Yep.
This Death Stranding you guys are talking about for a second.
But looks cool. You know, we'll see more of that. I think it's a Switch exclusive, at least for a limited time, kind of like the
Yeah.
last one. Then there was another trailer for the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is still
I just
not
don't
out.
care.
And
Hot meme
Anymore.
shout out.
I don't care.
It's become a meme because there's a part in that trailer where Tifa goes, "So are you gonna get out of Midgar?" And then Cloud goes, "No," or something like that. But it's just funny because you're not gonna get out of Midgar until 2021 or 2022 or whenever part 2 of that remake comes out.
we were watching that with a room full of people that were like trying to keep an eye out for something that would imply that that game is not just a few hours of that. Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll pad that out in a way that makes it feel longer.
You know,
but
it
it's
makes
just
storytelling great when you pad it out with stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah. From a game, it's like already. It's got a cool story, but it's also like I've had this argument before. Come see me, Final Fantasy fans. Final Fantasy stories mostly are terrible, and I don't care what you say. That you must not have played them.
Up next is another award. This was Best Fighting Game. And again, I should have voted with my heart, but didn't. And Smash was the true
Right,
victor, which I'm...
me and Chris voted for.
Absolutely.
And you voted for Mortal Kombat 11 like a dumbass.
like a fool, right? Like a total fool.
All right, well, I
get your
I
thought
thought Smash
process.
was going to get all of its props
Yes,
elsewhere.
I
yeah.
get your thought process. It makes total sense.
Yeah. Because there's still a bit of a of stigma around Smash Brothers in the fighting game community for some people, so that's I was
sorry,
I was
You
overthinking
mean
it.
idiots and losers?
We had
Exactly.
we had very long conversations for action adventure game and game of the year, and all those could be thrown in the garbage because spoilers, we were horribly wrong.
Yeah, good point.
So
But now the show officially started at 9:00. That was the last one of their pre-show, or the last thing they showed, I guess. There, and they kicked it off with a Church's performance of their song from Death Stranding,
called
which
Death Stranding.
yes,
Where me and Jason, once again, she was wearing a hood and the rain was coming down, and we once again had to discuss that the most game-breaking thing about Death Stranding is that your hood would not actually protect you from the time rain. That why doesn't he have a helmet?
well, the Troy Baker has like 2 masks and a hood in that game, so he's protected.
Exactly.
But no,
He also has control over the BTs. Spoilers.
Oh, is it because maybe he's wearing a helmet?
Maybe.
I think I said to Jason, I screamed at him, the company logo is a fucking helmet.
It is.
Like,
song's cool. I think again, as Chris pointed out, it would have made sense, I guess, for us to vote for Death Stranding as our pick, considering they did reveal this that performance was going to be there prior. Who was the orchestra was that the video game orchestra? Hans Zimmer's orchestra
It's
like
the
last
Game
year?
Awards Orchestra.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should have played violin or something, dude. That's a job right there, my man. Just playing in an orchestra.
Yeah, real easy, I hear. Then was Best Narrative, and I believe this is also going back where they gave the RPG award as well, and we just didn't hear it because we were too busy being annoyed.
Or maybe they cut it out.
No, They do a thing
Okay.
whenever a game wins 2 awards. They'll be like, best award goes to this game, and then while they're going up to accept it, they're like, it also won the award for blah 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 blah. But we had like 30 drunken people being in a room throwing their hands up that this game won narrative. But best narrative went to Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
Which
I
I
gotta play this game now,
I hear for
guess.
what it is. It is. I'm not saying I'm angry. I think a more
It
shocking
sounds-
thing was that
It's so when we recorded our thing, I had never heard of it, and then all
I
of
did
a
a little
sudden
bit.
people started talking about it because we're getting near Game of the Year and it's winning a bunch of awards, and it is a top-down Fallout 1 or 2 style isometric RPG.
they
Yeah.
call it a CRPG.
But there's no combat.
Okay.
Everything is like dialogue.
Oh yeah, it's
based.
dialogue, and your health is based off of your dialogue decisions and shit like
Yeah.
that. Right?
you have
Yeah,
like
stats.
you have like composure meter and
yeah.
It
Stuff
looks
like that. It's pretty
really
cool.
cool,
It just-
and everything I've heard about it makes me know that I do not have the patience to play.
Yeah,
So-
Yeah.
It was this on sale on Steam, I believe. Too.
It is right now.
It is right
because
now? Okay.
there's a sale. I bought Gree or
Yeah.
Grease. I don't know how to say it
I
anymore.
think it is Gree.
No, because the guy who made it said Grease on
What?
stage at the Game Awards. So,
Well,
you remember
he
that?
doesn't know.
but yeah, I bought that. It's $8.
Okay. Wait, Disco Elysium or Grease?
Grease.
Okay.
Disco Elysium is a $40 game. Is currently on sale for $31.
Okay.
So
I do hear that game tackles some pretty heavy themes and handles them
yes, and they did
very
they
well.
did thank Karl Marx and Frederick Engels on stage.
That's fucking my man. Right there. That's amazing. I didn't hear that.
Apparently, that game has a lot of communist overtones to it, or maybe not overtones, maybe just direct references to communism.
Nice.
Well, no, it is a fantastical world. Like
Yeah.
when they touch upon things like race, they're not directly referencing real world races. Like it's
Also, just I don't know if you mentioned this. We all voted for Outer Worlds.
Yeah, I was gonna say it may be
did.
cool, but I like my great narratives packaged in a cool action game.
I like them delivered coherently
know what
in
the
a way
thing-
that doesn't take
This
500
is
hours.
going to make me sound like such a shithead because I'm sure Disco Elysium is awesome.
It is.
Put voice acting in your games.
Yeah,
If you're
that's
gonna
part of the
if
reason
you're
that
gonna make a
Nintendo
30-hour
games for me are
If you're
like,
going to make a 30-hour RPG where I have to read everything, I'm sorry, I don't have the patience.
That's true, and
Yeah.
it's not like even the worst. It's like when I was a kid,
I like
I didn't like.
performance and-
Yeah, when I was a kid, like there are obviously like Final Fantasy and all this like Tales and all these like old games, like lots of fucking reading. Cool. I didn't care. I didn't know I had to drink to not be worried about everything. So I had plenty of time to fucking read. Now it's just like I want to hear it or skip through it and have like, like a at least like
I didn't mean to sound too like hard on Disco. I think it's just more that this does seem like the hot thing right now, and if this game really cements itself as like this important like storytelling thing, and then that grows to inspire, then absolutely.
I'm
But-
absolutely sure it deserves the award. I think the only reason I voted for Outer Wilds and still think so is because overall, I imagine Outer Wilds is a better game
Outer
to
Worlds.
have. Outer Worlds.
That happened to him this
God,
time.
I did it. Damn it. Outer Worlds is overall probably a better game, so I think that
Yeah.
kind of like gives it a couple points. But I guess strictly narrative, this probably does deserve to win.
I mean, we should point out that surprisingly, Outer Worlds also lost RPG to Disco as well, which is
Yeah.
makes me feel like a huge blockhead for calling the award Best Outer Worlds because I was so
Yes.
Yeah,
Now that you bring
I
that up
think we all
now, we also all voted for Outer Worlds for Best RPG.
yeah.
And we're wrong about that as well.
I think
Yep.
maybe it's just like it's a shame because now that I'm looking at it retrospectively, obviously, it's an incredible game. It's just the refined version of something that's been out for a while. Maybe Disco Elysium being something kind of new and interesting.
There is
kind
a
of has some, there's
what's
some,
the game that came out? There's a game that came out in the 90s on PC that a lot of people use as a frame. of.
Doom. Is that what you're talking about?
System Shock,
No,
Half Life,
Baldur's Gate?
I don't know.
I think it's Baldur's
It's a
the
Gate.
Baldur's
Risk
Gate.
game.
It
I
seems like
think-
a very Baldur's Gate inspired
The thing
game.
was, though, it's like we weren't just choosing Outer Worlds for personal. We were also choosing, like, we
No,
also
no.
assumed like the reach that game had, like, it was.
Well, because like I
it's-
said,
it connected with
You're
so many
assuming- You're
people.
assuming when you're guessing these awards and you haven't played all of them, you're going off of what other people talk about, right?
True.
You assume
Yeah.
that if people really love a game, or like if people really love a game, they're just going to go on and the internet and discuss their mechanics. I've heard tons of discussion.
no, why do you think fucking Call of Duty's still winning garbage?
I heard discussion of Outer Worlds I didn't hear about Disco Elysium until it was nominated, and then all of a sudden people started talking about how great it was, and I just like, you know.
But it got a lot of praise for its nomination, which is cool. Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't so much as anticipation for it, which isn't a detriment.
Yeah.
It just sort of dropped and
Yeah.
I mean,
blew up,
there's no way we could have guessed that because we barely heard of it when we predicted it, and none of us had played it, so I know.
But I'm going to play it now. It sounds cool.
So let's get into that hot new Xbox that none of us were
This was the
expecting
best
to see.
part of the Game Awards.
It was,
Yes.
and even Jeff, in his like cockiness, was like, "Hey, we know a bunch of shit leaks. Like this didn't leak.
This didn't
like,
fucking leak,
yeah, it
you
was, it was
punk
really
bitches."
good.
It was just like a weird
You
dark.
fucking-
It was like a weird dark screen, and then a car drove off. We're like, oh, is this like a ad
no,
for
yeah,
Forza?
basically-
And then fucking soccer started playing, and we're just like, soccer? What?
Yeah.
And then the Master Chief walked on screen. I was like, oh shit, this is the new Xbox.
Yeah.
We all just started losing it.
Because it's like it was a really, really fucking cool trailer. It was like some guy talking. I want to like go back and watch it again, obviously. And it's like the ground is being created, and we're like, "What could this be epic?" And you saw the car. I was like, "What the fuck? Is this like Forza Horizon 5 or whatever?"
This is
Like,
the most like leaky ass ship of an industry, and the secrecy around it all, and it's amazing that they kept this.
Not only that, but
Because they showed it. They showed the box. We saw the box.
they showed the box, but they also showed it to a lot of journalists because, like, as soon as this announcement happened,
Everyone was
articles
like,
went
"This
up
is
on
what we
GameSpot
saw."
and Digital
Yes.
Foundry and
Yeah.
you know, Giant Bomb was
I saw
talking about.
specs
They
lists and
went
stuff.
behind the scenes and like saw it, and I was like, all these people got their eyes on it before
Yeah,
us,
and none of
this leaked.
so props. That's really cool.
I also-
because now it shows you, hey, leaks are cool sometimes, but also it's like cool to be genuinely fucking surprised.
Yeah.
You know?
Before we get into their, I guess one of their signature titles that they also showed back to back with this reveal, the box itself. I love the design of that thing. Me
too.
It's like a little PC tower.
I got beef to pick with you.
Why?
Because I helped you build a computer.
Yeah.
And you specifically were like, I want something that can fit on my shelf. I
Yes.
don't want a normal PC tower. And now
Yeah.
Xbox makes a PC tower, and you're like, fucking A, man.
It's a
Like,
small.
no.
It's a small tower.
I
You
don't
pointed out that the
care.
control.
I could have made a small tower. Instead, I had to search like a madman for a console-shaped PC.
it still wouldn't fit under my TV, which is why I saw in Polygon
almost
Story
as
that you can put it horizontally.
Okay,
You
okay.
can put it on its side.
It's like I
still
said, it's
angry.
almost as tall. It's about as tall as 3 controllers or so. Like,
Yeah, it's
like-
kinda whack.
Apparently, it's about the size of 2 GameCubes stacked.
That's great.
Of course you
Oh, great.
think that.
Of course you fucking think that.
you could-
Why don't you go
they
stack
put
2
two handles
handles
on it?
then?
That's you could still fit 4 of those in your fucking PC case. Like
Yeah.
I'm saying that it's the micro aspect of it that makes it cool.
You mean like a
at the top.
micro ATX board?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's
And it's still got
fucking cool.
it's still got a disk drive on it. So
Yeah,
you
and
know
the
they're
top glows green.
yes.
Glows all. It's one. There's
that
one fan
is
on
the
it.
biggest
Yeah.
surprise. The
Yeah.
top does glow green. Yeah, I did not think they would stick with the green.
What did you guys think of the name? Series X.
A friend of the show mentioned
That they can for naming going forward.
Yeah,
they can
maybe go forward.
yeah.
They can just be like Series 2.
Yes.
Series 3.
Well, a lot of people.
Or Series 100,
there's
Series
still
200,
There's
yeah.
still one that hasn't been shown yet because there was Project Scarlet and Project Lockhart. So Scarlet is the Series X. Lockhart is supposedly the cheaper, underpowered version, which a lot of people think is going to be Series S, just like they have the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X.
That makes sense.
Why wouldn't you just show those together? Dude,
Dude, I don't fucking know. Because there was a big rumor that when Stadia got announced that they scrapped the cheaper one, and then when Stadia failed, they brought it back. So maybe it's not ready to show yet.
Yeah, it looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, one fan. They didn't show the back though, so it might be ventilated on the back too.
Right? I mean, if it's like a computer, then yeah.
Yeah.
You think there's still
But
an
just like-
HD? You think there's still an HDMI pass through on the back?
No.
Yeah, okay,
Or
that
port
is.
for the Kinect.
Yeah, I like the shape. I wonder how much of that was just functionality, which I like. I always
Yeah.
wish they had designed consoles about functionality because that's how a computer is designed. It doesn't matter about shape. They're just like, let's get all this shit together in a spot. You know?
I just like that it's.
functionality based.
Yeah.
I just like that we've been having consoles that look essentially like VCRs or DVD players for so long, and
yeah.
then one comes along
Chris
that's like
mentions functionality.
throws those
like,
conventions out.
According to what I read on GameSpot and Digital Foundry, like I don't know if Xbox themselves said this, but it's just like you can only make your console so powerful without just shaping it like a computer.
computer, exactly.
Because
Right.
PCs are shaped that way for a reason.
Because motherboards are X long, X wide, and,
and they need to be ventilated a certain way.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
think this is just all about cranking as much power out of that thing and being able to ventilate it properly.
Yeah.
I just want my console shaped like computers and my computer shaped like consoles.
I'm so mad.
So then let's get into it's Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga, which
Think
is
so.
No, it's the opposite.
It's Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
Yes.
A direct follow-up to Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice.
Yes.
Developed by Ninja Theory, who
Yes.
they later bought.
Yeah.
Yes, Microsoft
Ninja
bought them.
Theory fucking rules, dude.
Yeah.
that trailer was fucking
It's
cool.
yeah,
Have you
it was the
played
most.
no, I never
I
have.
recently
I think it's on Game Pass.
So you might be hearing more about this in the future. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't think it's been ironed out yet, but
Okay.
I recently got our sound guy. Well, I didn't get a sound guy into. Jason was recently playing DMC, which
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about on the podcast in the past, and he was asking me days before this aired, like, "Yo, like I just beat DMC. Like, what should I play next?" And I was like, Ninja Theory has like a bunch of cool
Yeah.
games, right? Like they have Enslaved Odyssey to the West, and I don't know how you're gonna play Heavenly Sword now, but they made that Hellblade game, which is like all about mental health. It's like all an allegory for mental health. And I explained to him he just started playing Hellblade.
Yeah.
Senua's Sacrifice. So I'm probably gonna. I never beat it. I might
No,
go
that
back.
game is
It's on
something
Game
else.
Pass. I might go
do you
back
think
and play it.
this game is going
Do
to
you have
kind
it
of
on Steam?
follow?
No, it's on.
Oh, it's
Game
on
Pass.
Game Pass.
Do,
Okay.
do you think this game's going to follow in that kind of scope? Like, I think that was if
I
I'm
don't
not
see
wrong,
why
was that
not.
a $30-$40 thing?
Yeah.
It's supposedly like 6 hours. It's much more of a
Well, we said
narrative
this-
sort of focused thing.
It is $40.
Yeah.
I think.
I think it's cheaper now because it's a couple years old.
No, I meant I'm pretty sure somebody put up a pre-order page for. Maybe they just went off the last one, but somebody put up a pre-order page for it, and it
For
was
Hellblade 2?
$40. Yeah,
Time out. How much do you think Series X is gonna cost?
$600.
600. I was thinking
$5.
I was thinking $599.
I think they're just gonna. I don't think they're gonna price it more than the X or the launch Xbox One when it came out. I think it's gonna be $5.
Okay.
think.
I hope you're right.
And I hope I'm
Yeah.
right too. I hope
But
it's $10. But
but
Give me it for free.
That
well, maybe
trailer-
they'll have that. Well, they're gonna have that program for it.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Yeah, the
you
finance.
can do like the payment.
They're doing
plan
that
thing.
now.
I know.
For the X, yeah.
Which is it's kind of a killer deal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
not
and you
if
can
don't
also
have-
upgrade to the next one.
But
if you
I
have
just
the
wonder
plan
how
for the X.
how grand this sort of sequel is going to be. But
I don't think grand, because here's the thing: Microsoft's new initiative, and I kind of love it, is to make smaller scope video games.
yeah.
Yeah, because the games are too fucking expensive.
Because
They
they're
know
too
it.
expensive to make, and they're not trying to, like, okay, this is going to sound meaner than I mean it to, but they're not trying to go for value, they're trying to go for quantity. So, like, they're not necessarily out here like, well, Hellblade 2 needs to be twice as long as Hellblade 1 if we're going to charge $60 for it. They don't give a shit. They're like, we'll put it out for $60, just get Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's like I said, to spoil a reveal in the future, like, Gears Tactics is going to be, that game is going to
which
be $60.
is crazy.
And it's like, I mean, XCOM was $60, but still, that's weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think they're just going to price everything at $60 and be like, just get Game Pass, dude. You can buy 3 games a year or get Game Pass Ultimate
I
and
was
get
like,
all our
it's
games.
like people who spent $60 on Sea of Thieves. It's just like,
Yeah,
what are you
who would do
doing?
that?
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah.
Who would do that?
So wait, you said there was a pre-order page up for this. Does that mean that it's also coming out on Xbox One as well?
No.
Oh, how's their?
You know, Amazon just put, as soon as something's announced, they put shit up.
Oh, okay.
you,
yeah.
you could pre-order games that get canceled constantly.
But this is definitely I thought the most stylistic trailer for game
That
wise.
trailer was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
and,
watch
and
it.
it made a lot of sense if you've played the first one.
That is
'cause
the same-
That game's all about her brain rotting from the inside.
That is the same woman who's that character, right? I think she won performance.
She did win performance last year, or was it 2 years ago? I don't know.
Might have been 2 years ago. So anyway,
She's cool.
let's this will be a nice segue into the Joker and Harley Quinn coming to MK11, I guess, or is it just Joker and then she was in there? I don't know.
Dude, I don't fucking know.
That leaked a while ago.
I don't care.
Didn't
Next.
they announced it?
Did they officially announce Joker?
They officially announced Joker, and then he looked kind of like a
Weird.
CW star, so then they changed his model. So
Okay.
now he looks more like a comic book character.
And he'll be with the Terminator and Spawn. Was that it?
Was it Spawn? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think Spawn.
Oh, I also shouldn't have glossed over that there was an achievement award
Yoda?
before that, but
Achievements.
Yoda.
They bringing them back?
yeah. Whatever. So then they showed their first major DLC for Control. I believe it's called The Foundation.
Yeah, it's like a
the-
roguelike thing.
yeah.
That's cool.
Then our next award was Best Esports Player, and it went to Bugga.
Cool. Love that guy.
Do
Is
you?
this the one where you have an apology?
No.
No, that's content creator. Sorry.
Yeah. You're just waiting for it.
Yeah.
Then there was the premiere of a game called Godfall, which
Oh, I called it.
you did.
I called it because they showed it and it was just like.
I love
a
when
party-
developers talk about like the
Yeah.
reinventing the wheel,
Yeah.
like when it's
It was like
clear.
a party of 4 people and they were fighting like Egyptian gods or some shit. And I was just like, oh, so it's Destiny. And then the guy was like, it's a 4-player co-op online loot-based shooter. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. So you added another player from Destiny.
I didn't
Congrats.
hear him say 4
I
player.
didn't even see him say 4 players. I thought he was
just
going to be
single
3.
player or like.
No, and then he went, oh, you could also play it by yourself.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah,
I remember I made a joke about that too.
The most interesting about
About being published by Gearbox, and the most
Yes.
interesting thing I'll let you say
is that it ended with PlayStation 5.
yeah, which that is the first officially revealed PlayStation 5 title.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is a
kind of
very
surprising.
unceremonious way to do that.
Yeah.
Especially
didn't have a
right
console to
after
show.
right after they revealed the fucking.
Yeah, that was
Considering the
pretty
first
funny.
revealed Xbox Scarlet game was Halo Infinite. Technically.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Isn't Godfall also going to be on Epic though? The Epic Store.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Probably. Also, I brought this up to Randy after we were done watching it, and I think after you left, Chris, not a Stadia logo in sight. In
Yes,
that
I actually
entire-
wrote that down.
Yeah.
Like trailer after trailer, we stopped like. We stopped
Because it
seeing.
doesn't work.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know, but it's bad. Like we're like, that's
And
some.
timeout, I would love to be proved wrong. I would love for it to come out and be good. and
Sure, no,
spectacular.
absolutely. Nobody. We don't
mean,
want
it's
things to
out already.
fail. It's just well, it's out, but
Not publicly.
Not
well,
well,
you got to pay
it-
$130 to get into the beta.
The thing is, though, is like it just feels like the writing's on the wall. In that they're showing a bunch of these game reveals without any acknowledgement that it will be coming to Stadia, but then that's completely contrasted against full Stadia ads that we saw consistently throughout the
yeah.
night for the service, not for like games. But
Well, this is exactly what I said was going to happen. Google was like, we'll launch this thing and everybody will shit on it, but then it'll get good. And it's like, it's too late, dude. Xbox got revealed now. You're finished,
Yeah.
dude. Like, the PlayStation 5 is going to get
Is
revealed
next year.
early next year.
Yeah.
And then that is all people are going to be talking about.
Microsoft learned it is hard to course correct a console after launch.
You just gotta have
Yeah.
a guy who has so much money to dump into the second version of it that you'll be all right.
So, we'll see where that goes. Then I think this is my first win. This was Best Audio Design.
Yes, this is your first
And
win.
this went to Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
What you voted
Yeah.
for,
I
I
did.
voted for Gears 5, and Chris voted for Sekiro.
My personal vote was Control, which
Oh, really? I thought I voted for Call of Duty. Damn.
I think you did vote for Call of
Oh,
Duty. and
I
don't know.
remember voting for Sekiro because I said it needed more awards in the game box.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, okay. Which one of those bets paid off? Not.
Best strategy game I believe we all got. That was Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I'm sure a bunch of our friends are happy about
Yes, we all voted for Fire Emblem, and then that's what won.
that. Yeah. So this is Content Creator, which went to Shroud.
Yeah, keeping up with their shithead of the year
Yeah,
theme.
yeah.
I said it on our last podcast, but fuck that dude.
Yeah. Find him on Mixer.
Find him on Mixer.
Actually, you know what? My apology will come after the next 2 points, just because then she was actually there. And
Yeah.
you guys are so excited for me to look like the biggest asshole. I could have just ignored it
I'm not excited. I'm just anticipating.
with excitement. Then there was a world premiere of a sequel to the Bravely Default, titled Bravely Default 2. Despite the fact that
It's the third one.
it is the third one.
Yes.
Because
they
there's a
made
game called Bravely
Default,
Second.
And they made Bravely Second, and then they made Bravely 3, which would be Bravely Default 2. Way to go, Square Enix.
Yeah.
Knocking it out of the park.
So
It's
if
not
you-
the first time they've done something like this.
No, it's absolutely not. But then there was this an expansion to Warframe that they
Yes.
showed off with their the head of their, which is insane, as you pointed out, that Warframe was not nominated for community support or
no,
ongoing.
which
Yeah.
it should have been, and I think I said that on our last
Yeah.
first 2 parts somewhere.
But then there was a segment featuring Ewok, who I made fun of. I feel like you tricked me though, because
Oh, now here goes the blame shifting.
I did not realize it was like this sweet little 14-year-old deaf girl.
No, my apology is that I thought Ewok was the kid that won. I did trick you because I thought Ewok was the kid that won the Fortnite championship.
Yeah.
That was Bugga. Ewoks, the deaf girl.
okay.
I got them backwards.
All right. Because I said, when I was going through the list, I was like, is that the kid that won the Fortnite tournament? And you said yes. And I was like, I don't care. Like,
No, Ewok is a.
Can't believe
very
Randall
sweet.
drove to her house, screamed in her face, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?"
kudos to her for somehow playing a game that I feel like sound is a pretty important feature, like,
Yeah.
and being able
Any
to hold her own.
fucking
in that.
shooter.
Yeah. So my apologies to Ewok, I guess. I don't know what else
Yeah.
to say. She seemed very nice.
Still not going
And,
to watch any of either of their content.
Well, I don't
And
really.
which
I don't watch
mentioned.
children play battle royale games.
I watch children play. Speaking of watching children play, Subway Award. Sorry,
No, we're not there yet.
I know. It was a pedophile
God,
joke.
They should. Oh God!
Continue.
Shout out Jared.
Don't shout him out.
Shout out, Jared.
Yeah, isolate that. Cut it out, but isolate that. That's gonna be my text tone.
No, that fucking motherfucker's rotten in jail for a while. So we can remove all of this, please. Then, so I guess there was a sneak peek of a update for Magic: The Gathering, which was a recurring.
Which I couldn't tell
like-
if it was for the card game or the digital card
I
game
don't know.
or
We
something
saw-
There's
else.
so many different versions of the digital card game now. It doesn't matter anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
they need to consolidate it.
They put Black Lotus in it. Get it?
Oh, the card that costs like a
$25,000 or whatever.
yeah, as much as a house. And this was a sort of a weird announcement. Brandon Green or Player Unknown's
Prologue.
next game called Prologue. I'm sure will change.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Maybe it's a single player prologue to
Yeah,
PUBG.
maybe
That trailer it's like not even 15 seconds of a first person pre-rendered thing, and then
Yeah,
there's-
Yeah, what if
nothing.
what if it's like a single player prologue to PUBG where you find out what happened to the world before PUBG happened? Wouldn't that be cool?
no.
Sorry.
And I don't think the name will change because if naming your game Player Unknown's Battleground is any indication of the laziness.
Player Unknown's Prologue. I mean, I almost forgot to write this down because that's how quick it went by.
Yes.
Like, I don't even think it was zoomed in on the screen the whole time. It was just kind of like, what was that? I don't know. But let's get into another award, one of my favorites, and this was for art direction. And I believe my personal pick and vote was for Control, which did win. It was.
Yes.
It was.
No.
Yes, Control won.
Nope, you didn't pick it though.
I
You
did.
picked Gree.
Why the fuck did I do that?
I picked Sekiro and Chris picked Control.
God. Wait, you didn't pick Control either?
No, I picked Sekiro.
But both of our personal picks weren't they?
Or Control, yes.
God, we're dumb.
It turns out we should have just
Voted with our hearts.
voted with our hearts.
Man.
Because all of the ones I got wrong, my personal pick was right.
Yeah. I tried to go by the sports thing of voting against
till we get
yourself
to-
so you'd be happy
Wait
either
till we
way.
get to action game. and
Chris
you can hear
voted
me beat
against
my-
himself and got it every time.
Wait till we get to action game, then you can really hear me beat myself up.
And also,
so
this
mad.
award was presented by the adorable Japanese woman
So
who...
she is like,
yeah.
she is like tweeting Elon Musk constantly now. It's
What?
hilarious.
Why?
Yeah, I started following her on Twitter, and she's just like, "Yo, Elon, give me a free car." That's like all her Twitter has been for like 48 hours.
He was there
a shithead.
watching his ex perform.
to get to that funny moment.
Yeah.
Then I guess after this was a Fortnite Star Wars crossover. I don't know, my eyes kind of glazed over.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you go to the drive-in movie theater in Fortnite, you can watch a movie in Fortnite.
And it was this talked about by the creator of Fortnite, right?
Yeah,
the guy
Donald
who's got
Mustard.
a haircut like he doesn't want his fans to think he doesn't play Fortnite.
Donnie Mustard.
Donnie Must. Also, wait, I should point out that because we talked about her on the E3 episode, but she's no longer with the company
She
that's
is
making.
no longer working on Ghostwire Tokyo
Okay.
or Tango Gameworks.
Did she? Where is she?
She's
at now?
also been tweeting a lot about how she's unemployed. So she's still unemployed.
Oh, that's so sad. How the fuck has no one hired her?
I don't know.
For like PR or something.
Yeah,
maybe.
at least just have her
Hire-
present.
Just give her a TV show, for fuck's sake. If she hosted the Game Awards instead of
Jeff.
Keighley, I love Jeff Keighley, but that would have been adorable.
Maybe she's in Death Stranding somewhere. I just haven't found her yet. This was an interesting announcement for Sons of the Forest, which actually
Yeah.
looked kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Was that the
like,
one that started with the rabbits shooting each other?
No,
No.
that was 9 to 5,
Right, okay.
which I have no idea.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, no, this started with like a helicopter crash.
Yes.
No, this
we
the
thought
one
it was
that
like a
started with the lady with multiple legs sexy dancing on the tree. then the helicopter crash.
Yes, that did happen.
That was,
That was
Sons
part of the same trailer.
That was Sons of the Forest.
Yeah.
Where there was like the
Oh, yeah,
sexy
I know.
lady.
Which
Half the
dancing
people in the
on
room knew
tree.
what were going on, and the other half were extremely confused.
Well, none of us knew Chelsea.
No, but
former
they just thought it
guest.
looks familiar. Like the.
Well, she was the one that called out. She was like, "Wait, is this the forest?"
Yeah.
And we were just like, "No." And then it said "Sons of the," and then it
Yeah.
went "Forest." And we're like, "Oh shit!"
That actually was, and it looked like pretty well polished. Like I know that first
Yeah, it was
game
cool. It was a
launched
cool-
in kind
it
of
was
a
a
rough
cool
state,
trailer.
and then like over the years, over time,
Yeah.
they kind of made it what it is now. But
Yeah, they've been talking about it later because I know a friend of ours, a streamer, Mr. Bob Dobb, and Jason and Chelsea were
Oh, did-
recently playing
yeah,
All the
that's
Forest
right, yeah, they
together.
do
They
all
were
play.
talking
Yeah,
about
which is
it.
why Jason and Chelsea were like freaking out when it said that it was a sequel. I'm mad because that sexy lady with multiple legs is not going to be in the game, and I know it.
are you sure?
If she is, I'll buy
The
it.
game has weird monsters in it. Then was our first League of Legends game that they've been working on. Apparently, a bunch of these.
Yes.
And this was Ruined King, a League of Legends story.
yeah.
I guess they're doing the Star
Apparently
Wars.
they're doing like a bunch of smaller games for the League of Legends story instead of making like one single player game, and then they're just calling them League of Legends story.
Okay.
Is this the one by
That's pretty
Airship
cool.
Syndicate?
Yes.
Okay, those are the people that made Darksiders Genesis, that game that just came out, which is apparently pretty all right. so-
Okay. I've heard it's much better than Darksiders 3.
That's the
Yeah.
top-down one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that costs more on Stadia.
Costs $30 on PC and then $40 on everything else, including Stadia.
Then was a performance by Grimes, I guess celebrating Cyberpunk 2077. They had a bunch of musicians kind of come out, including ASAP Rocky and
Run
and-
the Jewels.
Yeah, Run the Jewels and a bunch of other like DJs and
talked
solo
about the
electronic
score
artists
and
and
People
stuff.
the
I
game.
haven't heard of, but I have to go back and look up because they played clips of their music while they were talking, and they
Yeah.
all sounded pretty rad.
They really did.
It was all like industrial punk and shit and rap.
Yes,
Like, that's
It's-
pretty cool.
It sounds great. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. They talked about the soundtrack of the game. And
Yes, and I
gets me a
believe
little
she
hyped.
was premiering like a new song for the game that we haven't heard. It sounded like an awesome track.
Sounded like a grime song,
Yeah.
which is dope.
Yeah, and she went into a giant coffin that was smoking, and she was all decked out.
But my favorite part of the whole performance is at the end when the camera cuts to Elon Musk and he does this awkward, like, should I stand up? And then
Yeah.
he does, and nobody else does. And he's like, wait, should I sit down? And then the person next to him stood up, and I hope you're embarrassed.
Yeah, live
piece of
editing
shit.
is yeah.
The person next to him was that chick.
Yes. Okay, that's probably why she's pissed her.
Yeah.
That's so funny. But yeah, Cyberpunk
It's like
looks
when he
awesome.
couldn't decide whether or not to treat his workers well, and then he decided not to.
Yeah.
When he couldn't decide whether or
When he
not to
decided to
smoke weed on Joe Rogan's show and then fire people for smoking
Yeah,
weed.
I mean he's an asswipe,
Or
but
unethically acquire an absurd amount of money.
yeah.
that too, forcing
Yeah.
people out of the company that
Yeah.
he bought.
No, he's cool, though,
Making it
because
yours.
he tweets about anime. Keep going, guys.
He was on Rick and Morty, dude.
Yeah, he played Elon Tusk.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going, please.
Okay. The last thing I will say is the last thing I will say, which is pretty funny, was just Chelsea pointing out that Grimes always looked like she was just plucked out of Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Like, all right. like that partnership
What
makes
was the
complete
quote she
sense.
said? She's like, we're both horrible on the outside, but beautiful on the inside, or something like that. I don't remember.
I think I fucked up my notes here because I have Best Action Reedus as the next thing, and I think I meant to write Best Action Game was presented by Norman Reedus. But this went to DMC 5, Devil May Cry
Deserved.
5,
Which the two of you voted for.
What you wrote,
Which was my personal pick,
Yeah.
yet I didn't vote for it. I voted for Gears 5 like an asshole. Because we hadn't beaten Gears 5 at the time.
That is
Me and
true.
Randy have been playing it co-op with another friend of ours, and we have now beaten it, and I can confidently say that that is not best action game.
I agree.
It is a most disappointing action game for sure.
2/3 of that game were good.
It is.
Yeah.
You voted for it, though.
That last third is just
No, I
rough.
predicted it. Because
I think I voted
because
for
I
it.
thought that the world wouldn't give me what I wanted. Turns out it was going to.
It was still 3-player co-op.
Yeah, sure.
like
we could all-
Godfall.
We could all wait till I take a shit and then play catch with my shit. That's 3-player, but that doesn't mean I want to do it.
That's a hell of a metaphor.
Well,
is it split screen? Fortnite's adding split screen.
Yeah, and I believe
I
I made
hate
a
split
joke.
screen.
I made a joke.
I hate-
That
I hate
was
you
your
again.
favorite game.
There was a game, Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance.
which looks like Vermintide or Left 4 Dead.
Yeah,
Now,
that makes
fuck
sense.
Left 4 Dead. For now on, it's
Damn.
Vermintide games.
Yeah, it's true.
Then I have the painfully awkward exchange between Jeff and the fictional character Mirage from Apex Legends to show off their Christmas event.
Which, by the way,
every other game already started.
Mirage, voiced by Roger Craig Smith,
Oh, is that Sonic?
also known for voicing Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yeah.
and known for voicing Batman when Kevin Conroy is not available.
Is that
And
how
he
the Bat-
tweeted that he was going to be at the Game Awards
Okay.
to set something up to surprise people, and they all thought that a Batman game was getting announced, and it turns out he was just voicing a stupid Mirage thing.
He is voicing Sonic in the movie, right?
No, Ben Schwartz is.
Oh, right. Duh. Why the fuck did
Fucking idiot.
he voiced him in Wreck-It Ralph, I think.
He did. That he did.
This is so fucking.
I was disappointed.
Maybe I'm very anti Apex Legends,
I am.
You
and
guys
that-
both are.
and I think
I-
that takes some of my bias.
I like Apex Legends more than the two of you. I still don't play it
What did-
because I don't like Battle Royale
What
games.
did Chris say? Most disappointing spin-off to a phenomenal game.
but it's disappointing spin off to a successful franchise.
But yeah, that was still.
It went on for so
Horrible.
long, and
It went-
because
yeah.
they had to push things for time, and like,
Yeah.
whatever.
We should get
Why-
on some
I understand
Titanfall
it.
too.
Why
Yeah,
announce
I
Y'all
know.
out there? Let's
Yeah.
Why
play.
announce best performance on stage when you could just let Green Day play 2 songs and let Mirage talk for 10 minutes?
Because our homeboy wasn't there to accept
I know.
his award. After this was what game was this? Ultimate Rivals: The Rink. It was like a hockey.
Hell yeah, dude!
Oh,
It's
that
Apple
one,
Apple
yeah.
I haven't
Arcade.
played it yet. Hold on, keep podcasting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play.
That-
it.
It looked-
Podcasting.
It looked like a NBA Street or like NFL Blitzer Street kind of clone, but hockey.
Which sounds
Which
dope.
is fucking amazing.
Except
because
it's
NFL
on mobile,
Street
so-
is the best GameCube game ever made.
Is he playing it right now?
Yeah, it looks
It's
like
called Ultimate Rivals: The Rink.
it. Yeah.
Come back to me when it's on a.
All right, we'll just sit in
Console.
silence and watch him play for a while.
Okay.
All right.
Each team has 2 skaters and a goalie. Match consists of 3 2-minute periods. Use the control stick to skate. Double tap the control stick to switch which
There's
skater
no
you
control stick.
Tap the top
Fucking
button to shoot
idiot.
while holding the puck. I don't need a tutorial, dude.
Austin,
No, I'm just kidding.
the
I'll
next-
play this after. But the thing.
the next thing was.
Hold on.
Okay.
So it's a hockey game, but there's like baseball players and basketball players in it. I don't know.
Wait, okay. Was this the award that Steph Curry announced? Because
No, his was best esports player.
my favorite series of jokes for the night was to me and a friend of the show. He goes, Steph Curry gets on stage. He's like, I'm pretty out of my element here. Anybody got basketball?
Wait, what?
I don't know. It's just fucking had me cracking up. We don't have to put that in.
Up next was another trailer for Ori: Will of the Wisps. Is that the sequel?
Yeah.
Which everybody unanimously said just come out already.
Oh, thank you,
We're
Austin. The
missing it.
Fortnite Star
I
Wars
just got
event
an email.
is live.
Fortnite Star Wars event is live on Twitch.
All right, that's it. Hot button, everybody.
Yeah,
We'll see you
break.
later.
Well, but yeah, no, that game still looks dope. It looked dope when they showed it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think this is probably their launch trailer.
We pretty unanimously agreed. Like, I am a huge fan of Ori and the Blind Forest, and I am sure as shit gonna play Ori and the Will of the Wisps. But like, stop showing me trailers, dude. I've seen like 20 of them.
It's been at every event.
Just finish the game already.
Then they had their second Global Gaming Citizen. The Will Wright was there talking about something.
Will Wright was a global gaming citizen.
Hey, I'm Will
so.
Wright.
Wasn't he?
I don't think he was the. I think it was like some women's thing, wasn't it? Was
Well,
that
I thought the
Facebook?
previous one was. The woman in Afghanistan was making.
yeah.
Anyway, let's get to the next.
You know, the most important people, that African guy, that Afghanistani woman, and Will Wright. The 3 people changing the world through gaming.
Will Wright did change the world through gaming.
Yeah, like 20 years
I
ago.
know.
Get over it. It's not doing anything anymore.
It's more than
Spore,
that.
really? 20 years ago?
No, Spore came out in like 2008.
I know.
And that didn't change the world.
Changed my world.
Then there was Games for Impact, which went to Gris. Now I can.
Greece.
Grease. Damn it. I still fucked it up. All right, so the Grease movie.
Which you voted for.
I did?
I voted for Concrete
Oh, yeah.
Genie, and Chris voted for Life is Strange 2.
Okay.
I
I
don't
think
even
you
remember doing
voted
that.
for Chris to vote for Life is Strange 2.
That's right. Chris said, I don't care, and then I just filled in Life is Strange 2 for his.
Best Nintendo game. This was their family category.
Once again, I tried to be different. I'm a fucking idiot.
Was this where the Reggie speech was? Oh no,
No.
that's later. Okay, that's later.
Reggie speech was
That was
like
for
best-
indie stuff.
Yeah, that was
so
for
yeah,
the Eat Fresh Award presented by Jared,
but best family game was Luigi's Mansion 3.
which
I
you
believe-
voted for, and I voted for Ring
duh.
Fit.
Yeah.
I voted for Ring Fit Adventure because I'm an idiot.
No, there's quite a bit of an awards dump here. Best sports and racing went to Crash Team Racing CTR,
Yes,
which
we voted for, me and Chris, and you voted for FIFA 20.
that was the
It's not even a racing game, you idiot.
that was the pessimistic vote. My personal vote was obviously CTR. I should have
matter.
stuck with it.
Pessimistic is what counts.
Well, you know what won best mobile game?
Call of Duty Mobile.
Call of Duty
Yeah.
Mobile.
Which Chris voted for. You voted for Grindstone, which was my personal choice, and I voted for Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Which was that my person? No, mine was with the golf.
Yours was what
Which
the golf.
one? No awards.
Yeah.
Which one? No awards.
Yeah,
which is a
nominated.
shame.
Yeah,
Successful.
tied
Yeah.
tied with Outer Worlds and
Yeah.
Resident Evil. Like, Jesus.
And Baba.
And Baba.
It turns out if you win no awards, you're actually one of the best games of the year.
Yes.
Turns out.
We talked about this
So
before.
it's turning out just like the Oscars.
Yes, exactly. Well, we're gonna get into that a bit with because me and Austin talked about this for a long time after you left with the Game of the Year. But then there was what was this reveal of Weird West?
Yeah, Weird West is the
Wolfeye?
ex-Arkham people.
Okay.
It's a top-down Diablo-style game, but where you play cowboys, which I know you were very down on.
I think it looks cool.
It looks neat if you're into Diablo-style games. And it's
I like
one
Diablo and Cowboys just fine. But
it's one that has absolutely nothing to do with devils, which is like
Yeah.
there are a lot of action RPGs.
I don't know. It looked pretty.
There are a lot of like
ghostly.
top-down character RPG type looting games like Diablo, but not many of them are not themed around religion. So
I just don't
that's
think the
neat.
world needs more. But
That's because
maybe
you don't
I'm
play
wrong.
them.
That's because there's too many.
No, because you don't play any of them.
There's too many. Then there was Magic Legends, which I guess is different
It's
than
an MMO.
a Magic MMO.
You get to make your own planeswalker.
I don't know what that is.
That's like the Magic version of a Jedi.
Okay. I peyed Magic like a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You remember the people whose pictures were on the cards?
Nope.
Okay. those are planeswalkers. You can be
Was
one
that,
of
did
them.
that have the really cool cinematic trailer? Is that one, or was that the other one?
I don't remember.
There was a cool Magic cinematic trailer.
I think this was the cool one.
Yeah.
Well, Austin, pick your phone back up because the next thing was a PUBG Mobile update.
No, thank you.
All right. Then there was a game, Path of the Warrior.
That's the VR game, the first-person fighting game where you're fighting in bars.
Yeah. What were you talking about? How sick it would make us?
They already have a bunch of those.
If you're gonna keep saying that every time a game gets announced, we're gonna be here for a while.
Best multiplayer game wasn't Tetris.
Can you tell me who presented that award, please? Did you write it down?
I didn't write it down. Who was it?
America's favorite streamer, Ninja.
Oh, that's why I didn't write it down.
Oh, Virgin Walk.
Damn it.
Another meme. Another meme for you.
I should have voted for this because even though it should not have won, but Apex Legends, which I believe grants you a point,
And Chris.
and Chris.
We both voted for Apex. You voted for Call of Duty, like a dumbass.
Sorry, I voted for the game that actually people play and give a shit about.
People play Apex.
No one cares
Really?
anymore.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah, and they came up.
It came out in
yeah.
March, or I don't know.
So bad at Apex.
I am mad at Apex.
Apex is a
The ti-
fine video game.
No, it's not.
How much would you lose your mind if they made a mobile Apex Legends game?
No, Apex is a fine game. It's just if you like Titanfall without the mechs
With all
or the wall running or
if you
the
like
double
Titanfall
jumps
without all
and
the good parts.
yeah, and the story and
Yeah, but turns out Titanfall without all the good parts is still better than like half the video games people are making.
Yeah, that's fair.
just the attitude.
just like I said,
it's just the
every
attitude of
time-
that game. It's
every-
basically like Apex Legends if it's personified into Ninja. Like they're
Yeah, but he plays
they're-
Fortnite.
They're one and the same. I don't.
They're just saying Apex Legends can't make a sandwich. Boom. Another meme for you.
I just more meant they're just like so sarcastic and irritating and juvenile.
Yeah, dude.
But
So
it's,
were the
but it's the
people who
best
played
multiplayer game of the year, better than
That's
Borderlands
everything,
and
though.
Division and all that. Yeah. Then there was that Ghost of Tsushima's full trailer, the continuation
Yes.
from the State of Play event.
Yeah.
That was a
it-
very cool trailer.
Yeah, that game looks dope. Was there a date? At the end of-
Summer 2020.
Really? Okay. That is making PS4.
So apparently it's coming out like a month after Last of Us 2. Good job, Sony.
Then this went into Gears Tactics, and
It looks like XCOM.
was there a release date for this too?
Isn't it Valentine's Day?
A
I'll look it up.
mobile
Alright.
Apex Legend XCOM clone. That's the game Randall's least likely to play.
It depends. What's the attitude?
What do you mean?
Are all the characters going to be quirky and quippy and
Yes.
colorful?
Oh, April 28th, 2020. That is Gears Tactics.
Okay. I thought it was February too.
April 8th,
April 28th.
28th.
3 days after my birthday.
Then there
Yeah, I was
was
gonna say, and just like a week after Cyberpunk, also a great release.
Yeah.
Naraka Blade Point was their next.
Which is a
Showing?
Chinese-made For Honor. Looked it up because we were making fun of it and nobody knew what it was. It's like a Chinese-made For Honor.
It looked
It's
like
like a melee-only multiplayer game.
The frame rate was dropping in the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
I said Chinese-made. What more do you want?
Stop it.
There's another kind of awards, a group of awards laid out here, along with the premiere of 9 to 5, which was the bunny shooting cartoon.
Well, it was a bunny shooting cartoon, and then it zoomed out, and there was a guy, a very serious guy in a very serious tactical gear who was like, "The fuck is that?" And then he turned around, and there was another guy in serious tactical gear, and they were like, "All right, let's go be tactical." And then it said 9 to 5.
Oh, yeah.
9 to 5 is a tactical multiplayer shooter.
That's.
Nobody's doing that. I know I just made fun of you for saying there's too many of them, but there's too many of them.
I agree. So the funny way to show that trailer off was to show something that there's too many of, but then subvert it with something else that there's also too many of, but not also
There's not that
explicitly
many
say what
rabbit
your
gun
game is.
games.
Yeah, they might as well made that fucking game.
Yeah.
That would at least be a little bit more original.
I just want like cartoony,
Sure.
over the top, like.
Yeah.
But best ongoing game was Fork Knife,
Which we all voted for.
Did we all vote for that? Okay.
Yeah, we all got a point.
Best esports game was League.
Which I voted for.
Okay.
Nice.
What did I vote for?
You voted for Fortnite. Chris voted for Overwatch.
I thought
Voted
I voted
with
for.
my
I
heart.
thought I voted for Overwatch too. Well, either way, I would have lost.
Either way, you lost. Maybe I read it wrong, but you lost.
Best VR game was probably the most obvious category,
We
which
all
we all
voted
got.
for Beat
The
Saber.
overrated Beat Saber.
And did it win?
Disagree. It did win.
Speaking of things there are way too much of, that fucking aesthetic and
No,
that
I don't,
soundtrack.
I don't see it.
No.
Completely disagree.
No, yeah.
You don't know how to have fun.
Yeah.
You just said the reason you don't like Apex is because the characters are quirky and colorful.
And annoying.
Randall's ideal battle royale is just Paper
No,
Mario.
no, my idea of
but
battle
in
royale is
black and
Tetris.
white.
They made it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if they just
So
made
there's no
a,
characters that just
Actually,
blocks,
no,
Of
the-
course.
if they
my
just made a
ideal-
Diablo game with Tetris in it, then you'd be okay with it?
I don't know what that means. No, my ideal battle royale game would actually be somebody executing on that movie
Yeah,
and
we've talked
book
about this. That would be a
well.
boring ass game.
It would be so
Why?
boring.
Because that
It would
movie,
take
Then it would
forever.
actually have an
That movie is-
intensity to
that
it.
movie is a phenomenal movie, but as a video game, that wouldn't work.
Why?
Because it would take too long.
It would take too long.
Why do you guys care about rules?
Look, I'm telling you, it would be a cool game, but nobody would play it,
Yes,
so
that's
it
what
wouldn't
I mean.
work.
Yeah,
Nope.
everybody plays raids that take like days long to
different.
do.
It
How?
is definitely different because it's not just like, all right, I barely like committing to a battle royale game knowing that I could potentially play for 15 minutes without seeing anybody and then die. Could you imagine for hours and then you go to make a move and somebody just
Dude, League was like
Because
the
it's like
biggest
the
game
thing-
in the world. It was like
The thing-
50-minute
the thing
matches.
That,
like,
no. Here, let me explain it. The thing that makes Battle Royale the movie cool is that they're just like, here's one person that found like a fucking gun, and here's another person that has a frying pan, right?
Yeah.
And in the movie,
it's RNG, just like the
it's
game.
totally possible for the person with the frying pan to beat the person with the gun, but not in a PC game.
You could design your game in
That's
such
just
a way
bad
that could
balance.
be possible.
No.
then everybody would just get frying
Then
pans.
everybody would just get frustrated.
Wait, everyone's gonna get frustrated anyway at everything.
Yeah, we know. We
know.
hear you. We hear you.
Fine, then you know what? You just keep making the same thing over and over again
See,
until
we
Art is
broke 'em.
dead.
We broke them.
You guys happy?
Spoiler, dude. Art died like 3 years ago.
I think it's funny for a genre that's named after that book and film and manga that nobody has been able to get any of the emotion that story was able to convey.
That's because when you're
Now it's like-
streaming games on Twitch for 12-year-olds, you don't give a shit about emotion,
Not about
dude.
emotion, it's about meme dabs.
Well,
you
yeah,
fucking
I know what I'm saying. Like, it's just funny that it's like you want to translate this into a video game and then just make it a farce. Like, weirdly enough, PUBG probably executed on it the best, and that's like the worst designed one.
That's actually probably the best one.
It is the best
Yeah,
one,
it's
just
the best
because
one.
Yeah.
at least that
No,
kind of has an
Maelstrom.
intensity
Maelstrom
to
is
it.
the best battle royale.
Tetris 99. No, Radical Heights is the best one. R.I.P.
Radical Heights.
R.I.P.
Then there was Performance, which went to...
Which I would like to say that Randy said I voted for Ashley Birch.
I thought you did.
You did. And Chris voted for Norman Reedus, and I voted for Mads Mikkelsen.
Nice.
I was curious what made you vote for Mads, because at that point we
I said
barely
it.
saw him. Why?
Well, I was wrong, but I said I bet you they'll give it to him because they want him to show up.
Yeah.
To have
He still
another-
wasn't there.
I know he wasn't, but
I'm surprised Norman didn't go up and accept his award.
Yeah.
But I will say, I mean, we talked about when, we mentioned the performers that he is far and away like the most, and that's nothing against Norman or obviously anyone else. I just more mean like he is a very long time celebrated
Yeah.
actor, and having played more of that game since we last recorded, he's great.
yeah.
And he also wished me a happy birthday and gave me a cake and some flowers.
Kiss on the cheek.
I wish I didn't get a kiss on the cheek,
No.
but I have evidence.
shame, dude.
I recorded it.
That's awesome.
He surprised me on my birthday.
Cool, dude.
Death Stranding's a weird game. So this was sort of odd. The category that we had run through on our show about, it was like the Legacy Award for
Yeah.
the previous 5 winners. I could not find the results of that category, but they did reveal their fan vote for Game of the Year,
Yeah.
which was just tallying up exclusively the votes that were made by
Yeah.
people, and that went to Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Weebs are strong, dude.
Yeah.
That's what somebody at your house said that, of course, they won because the people who are most likely to go on a website and vote are Fire Emblem fans.
That was me.
That was you?
That was me that said that.
Then there was Black Desert Mobile. Then Green Day played. They kind of surprisingly opened with Welcome to Paradise,
Yeah.
which was sort of cool.
I mean, I
to
think
see,
Green
but-
Day's smart enough to know that if you're going to get on stage at an event, nobody wants to hear your new music, at least only your new music.
Yeah, because then they played new music, and
Well, yeah, it came out and they played Welcome to Paradise, and everybody's like, woo!
and then they
Billy
they
Joe-
played a song which we didn't know what it was until Ada came over and said that she just wrote a review for that release
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
her blog. Check out My Little Underground. But she revealed that the song was called "Father of All Motherfuckers."
Yeah, and I think the chorus was something like, get that money, or something like that.
The least punk rock thing, like.
First of all,
Welcome to
that
Paradise.
train sailed, as they say. Okay,
It's Austin Powers.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, that's the pre-chorus. Come on, honey. Count your money. What's so funny?
Jesus.
I got paranoia, baby, and it's so hysterical, cracking up under the pressure, looking for a miracle. Come on, honey, lying in a bed of blood and money. What's so funny? We are rivals in the riot.
I think he had a
inside
stroke.
us. Yeah.
I think. Never mind. Let's not get into this. This is a long conversation.
The best thing I'll say about them is they haven't looked like they aged that much.
No. No. And that's bullshit. That's why they sound terrible, because punks are supposed to burn out and die.
They are,
It makes the music so good.
exactly. Too long, Green Day. Also, a little like I understand why you need that
Green
kind
Day,
of
more like it's Green Evening now. Am I right, guys?
like I understand why you still need that showmanship and pageantry of like having a band of that kind of caliber or scale, I guess, for your audience, but like it wasn't tied into anything. Like there was a reason for Churches and Grimes to be there. Like
Yeah.
they could have, like their performer a few years ago was the guy that composed the Doom soundtrack. Like that was way fucking better than Green Day.
Yeah, I should have got Steve Vai.
Then there was a game called New World, which, Austin, you were quick to point out the logo at the end was an Amazon
Yes.
game. I guess is this their first publicly revealed kind of like...
I think so. It's weird. They bought that studio that made the Killer Instinct reboot and also Strider.
Oh, okay.
That
The
studio?
reboot of Strider?
Yeah, and they bought them and then did nothing. And then they made their own engine to rival Unity called Lumberyard, which they then did nothing with, and then they shut it down. And this is the first publicly revealed thing that Amazon... They also hired Kim Swift, who was the creator of Portal.
Oh.
And then she left.
Oh.
So I don't know who the fuck's making this game, but apparently Amazon's putting the money out for it. And it is an MMO.
Oh. Chris loves those.
Hate Amazon. That's for sure.
What if they made an MMO? Does that change your mind? Then ex-Nintendo President of America, Reggie Fils-Aimé, came on stage to deliver this heartwarming speech about how much games means to him and that he'll always sort of feel connected to it.
Blah, blah, blah. Talking too long.
It did go on a little bit. But he gave the award for, I guess, simultaneously Best Independent Game and Best Debut Subway Fresh.
Yeah.
But what was weird is they framed it wrong. They were like, here's the nominees for Best Independent Game, but then they read the awards off for the studio, which is why, like, my
very
friend Pedro was in there, but not Baba Is You, and, like, it was kind of...
So they didn't even show Baba Is You.
It didn't even
on the
get
stage.
presence on screen.
They were
Yeah.
just like Disco Elysium, My Friend Pedro, and then I turned to Randy and I was like, "Wait, I'm confused."
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
wasn't the Subway Award studio? Because
Yes.
I have written down that we voted House,
Yes, we did.
which is the Untitled Goose Game
Yeah.
people.
Because
And
we
then-
all
but
voted
then
for
they just showed
Baba for...
Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah.
we didn't all vote for Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, the Slay the Spire, guys.
Yeah.
Right. Well, either way, we all lost, and it went to
No.
ZAZI.
So yeah, the E-Fresh
Zizo-
Award, Randy voted for House, I voted for House, and Chris voted for the Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki sub. and we
by the way-
all got the same amount of points.
Yeah. By the way, no mention of Subway whatsoever.
But that went to which is the Disco Elysium people.
Which means that Disco Elysium was 4 for 4, winning every single category it was nominated in.
Yep.
Despite not being nominated for Game of the Year, but...
And Best Independent Game, me and Randy both voted for Outer Wilds. Chris voted for Baba Is You, and the winner was Disco Elysium.
Outer Wilds also got nothing.
Yep.
And they just got Game of the Year from
Polygon.
Because Game Informer did their Game of the Year of Resident Evil 2, and then IGN did Control. And spoilers, they're...
It's just any proof
None
that
of them-
IGN is just trash.
But the funny thing is, it's just like all of the Game of the Year awards have been wildly all inconsistent all over the place, including here. Then there was our next League of Legends game, Convergence, a League of Legends story.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one this one was.
I don't know, dude. I lost track.
Then there was Surgeon Simulator 2.
Well, cool.
And yeah, that game's fun. And then Wolf Among Us 2, which is apparently back. The Telltale game that the plug was pulled on once their company sunk, and then the name to their company got purchased by another company who's now back, and I guess hiring some of those old devs, and the game is now back from the dead.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a very wild story about how that game came back to the industry and stage, but
Yeah.
I just don't know the full story. It's
We'll have to add that to our eventual
Telltale's is on our...
Yeah, that's say we'll have to add that.
It's kind of still going on, though.
Wolf
It
Among
is,
Us,
yeah.
very cool game. I'm
Yes,
excited
I
to see
love
the
Wolf
second
Among
one.
Us.
Then there's a big award here. It was Best Game Direction, and this went to our boy Kojima for Death Stranding.
Which we
Nice.
all voted for.
Yes.
We all got a point.
Obvious award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And deserved, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then there was that ESO trailer for Jason.
Shout out, Jason.
And then this
you get
was...
to go to Skyrim, buddy.
Yeah. Then, as you pointed out, this was not the best way, I think, to end their reveals, because the final world premiere was of a Fast and Furious game
Yeah.
called
my
Crossroads.
This whole part of the show
with
was
Din Diesel.
painful
Yeah,
to watch.
it was uncomfortable.
Those people were not designed for that.
No,
they
dude.
looked so out of their element. It
Vin
looks
Diesel said he was a gamer just like us.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. All right, never mind. I take everything back. Fuck you.
Yeah, he even joked about like a trailer for the fucking movie. What are they on 9?
Nobody cares.
No, yeah. Oh
That's
no,
not what we're
people
here
care.
for.
I don't care, but people care.
That's not what we're here for.
It
We
is-
also
it's not what
forgot
we're
to
here
mention
for.
that Games for Impact was presented by Bunsen and Beaker.
Oh, my favorite
Oh
part
yeah,
of the
I'm
entire
sorry.
fucking
I
show.
should have read that.
Yes, I was waiting for it.
I was waiting for that too.
That was very wholesome and
It was
and
wholesome,
funny.
it was incredible.
Beaker
Yeah.
glued VR glasses to his face, which you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
funny.
They even teamed up with House to animate
Yes,
that part
that's
of the game.
coolest part.
Yeah,
they animated Beaker and
my roommate,
Untitled Goose.
Just for them to
roommate
lose both
and
their
former
awards.
guest, Chris Snoodaboom lost it. He was like, "That is how you do wholesome
Me
comedy."
too. I agree.
Yeah,
I
I
agree. It's
agree.
fucking
That
one of the
was
best
really
parts.
great.
of
It was
the show.
it was adorable.
That is the thing that people probably shared
You
the
know
most.
who the one person who was not enthused with that whole bit? Norman Reedus, because they showed him. He didn't look happy.
I think he just was confused,
Yeah,
maybe
but you know-
about where he was.
But you know what? He
Fucking
was happy when
Muppets
Kojima was on stage.
dude.
When Kojima was accepting Best Direction, And he was on stage, and they showed a picture of Norman Reedus, and I said I was going to make that meme, get someone who looks at you the way Norman Reedus looks at Kojima.
Yeah.
And then there was the other meme where it was Kojima and Norman Reedus sitting there, and there was a can of Coke between them. And then someone said, whose can of Coke do you think that is, Norman Reedus's or Kojima's? And someone just said both.
But yeah, Fast and Furious game.
It always just pissed me off because it just seemed they all both seemed so uncomfortable. It just seemed out of place.
It seemed very out of place.
Forced.
You know what annoys me?
And it was just like
Yeah.
Michelle Rodriguez, very fucking cool.
Yeah, she's
Love her.
Yeah. No, she's
Vin
great.
Diesel's all right. He's not the worst,
Yeah.
okay? But it's just like they felt out of place. It felt awkward and forced and just
Yeah.
it was bad. And then like,
It
It's Vin
didn't even
Diesel's
seem
fault.
totally rehearsed. Like
No.
maybe they couldn't get them in.
Well, the
like,
one thing that Chelsea pointed out was that they had one of those mics that didn't get higher or lower, but it was very
Yeah.
it was very sensitive.
whole
mic.
night, yeah.
It was very good at picking
But they-
stuff up.
they didn't tell
They didn't tell
anyone.
anybody
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you
And Vin
that you
Diesel's
don't need to
7
bend
feet tall,
down. And Vin
apparently.
Diesel's like 7 feet tall, so he's like bending over halfway
Yeah.
and talking in the mic. And he's also not looking at the audience or the camera at all. He was turned around and talking directly to Michelle Rodriguez.
it was bizarre.
It was very weird
Yeah.
and awkward and like not rehearsed at all.
he's
And-
only 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
So
I-
might must have been low.
But they're all well. I mean, the first woman that came out to accept the first award was she was a little
She
taller,
was
but
the one
even
from
she was
Zaum.
yeah, and she was leaned down as well, and like that because it's
just ugh.
But it's just weird.
just
They didn't
awful.
tell people, like, because naturally, if you're not a public speaker of any kind, you're going to lean in and speak into a microphone
Yeah.
the way that we are now. But like,
Yeah.
they got a very good microphone where they didn't have to, so everybody was leaned back.
It's just,
I don't know.
and then the trailer for that fucking game.
But the
it's just
game
like,
looks
shut up.
subpar. Like licensed games
All right.
already have.
I got a rant about
like-
this
okay.
because I've seen multiple times and heard multiple times from friends and from the internet. I can't believe it took them this long to make a Fast and Furious game. There are like 4
so
of
many
those already.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
There
This
was-
is like I think this is the 3rd Fast and Furious game.
No, I think there's got to be more than that. There's the arcade one. There's
There's a mobile one.
The
You're right. This is the
showdown
4th one.
There's that expansion for Forza Horizon.
That's
3. It's its
All
own
right.
standalone thing.
Then it's the 5th one.
All right, whatever.
But still, either way, like, don't sit here and tell me they're like, finally, they're making a Fast and Furious game. They already tried to, and all of them were awful. So,
Yeah.
like, what are you excited about?
But
They're
yeah,
all- ugh.
everybody thought that there was going to be a new Smash character reveal and that Batman
You
game.
thought there was gonna be
and
one.
That wasn't
Yeah,
me by
Remember-
myself.
Remember when I jokingly was like, they're not going to do that, dude?
They did
And
it
you were
last
just like,
year.
Yeah,
They did
you
it with
said
Joker
that, you said
last-
that exact thing when I said
did.
that.
I'm not basing that on fucking nothing. Like, there's a billion articles around. It's the same people that were saying there was going to be a new fucking Batman and a new premiere of the Breath of the Wild sequel and the new Sonic the Hedgehog and Half-Life Alex is going to be there.
There was a new Crash.
Was that one of them?
Yeah.
It sounds like just you're saying that.
Wow, you're real angry at me. This is hilarious.
Either way, we didn't get any of that stuff. But we did get a Fast and the Furious Crossroads game.
Yeah, no. I'm just pulling your leg. I thought there was going to be a new Smash character, too. Very upset about that. I thought that Batman game was going to be there.
Really want Master Chief. I planned out his whole moveset in my head.
Yeah, me too.
And then...
Or Phoenix Wright. That was the other one.
that was the other leak, yeah. But up next was finally Game of the Year, which... and they simultaneously gave this out with Action Adventure Game since the title fell into both categories.
You forgot the medley that the orchestra did. Where
That was fucking cool.
Where- yeah, but
They,
they
played
like-
individual
they like-
music from every game except for Death Stranding.
Yeah, they forgot to change music in time, so they
Oh.
were still playing. I think Sekiro.
No, it was Outer Worlds.
They were still
started
playing
with
Outer Worlds music, and then the screen changed to Death Stranding, but they didn't change the music. And we were like, wait, are they just playing one song over a medley of video?
Yeah.
And then it changed to Smash.
The
and they were
Smash theme, which we all
clearly playing the
recognized.
Smash theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I thought it was
But
funny
was
when they
very-
got to Resident Evil and they had to just, like, that music is so different than everything
Yeah.
else. They're just like, and then just kind of like all
The
grindy.
Smash music
Yeah, and then,
played through an
and then that
orchestra.
Scandinavian dude came out.
Yeah.
Oh, that was weird. Was that for Resident Evil or was that Control?
That was for Control.
It was Control. I
That
think
was
it
for
was.
Was it?
that was for Control.
Yeah.
And then he left, and then another dude came out and started singing for Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That was weird.
The Smash
I
music
know,
through
it's
an
like I
orchestra.
played
though.
both of those games.
I don't remember
lyrics.
I don't remember lyrics at all. Yeah.
At all.
But there was a very...
That game does have lyrics for that theme.
Yeah,
The Smash
it does.
one does.
The Smash one actually does. But there was a very surprised room of all of us when Sekiro Shadows Die Twice won Action Adventure and Game of the Year for
Yep.
2019.
Watch Action Adventure. Randy voted for Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Yeah.
I voted for Death Stranding, and Chris voted for Borderlands 3. None of us got that one right. It was Sekiro. We each had a 20% chance and got it wrong. So we had a 60% chance of getting it right.
A lot of people would have lost money on this.
And then for Game of the Year, Randy and Chris both voted for Outer Worlds. I was going to, and then decided to go rogue and say, you know what, I think Smash might take it. And then we were all wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if
It
I
was
voted with
Sekiro.
my heart
And
for
Outer
Smash and
Worlds
Resident
didn't
Evil, I
win
still would have.
anything.
No,
Anything at all.
Nothing. Neither did Resident Evil. They both got nominated a bunch of times. I can't believe Outer Worlds didn't.
Yeah. Now, while I have no doubt that Sekiro deserves,
Yeah, deserves is a heavy
Praise.
word. Oh, yeah. Oh, praise, sure.
I don't know about Game of the Year.
Yeah.
We talked about this last night. Let me give me a theory out before we talk about it.
Okay.
It makes sense. If you think about it like this,
Do you mean just how the voting process works?
Outer Worlds was a somewhat divisive game. A lot of people really loved it, but there were people out there that didn't love it as much. Death Stranding reviews are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Smash, similarly, was a little bit divisive. And what was it? What else
Was Smash
nominated?
divisive?
There's a small.
It's divisive in
there's
that
a
community,
small,
but, like,
very
it's the
vocal
highest-
minority called
yeah.
melee people.
Oh, well, sure.
Who will refuse
Yeah.
to let any other Smash ever win
No, you're
any
absolutely
award.
right. But it's like Smash is
No, I mean, but
consistently the
I
highest
just want-
rated
I
game of
just
the
want-
year.
It got really high ratings, but they're, people vote as collectives, and I
Right,
think there are
yeah,
a lot of people who do not care about Smash at all, and a lot of people who really love it. And then, like, Resident Evil was probably it is one of the highest rated games of the year, right?
was.
On, like, Metacritic.
It was
but
the
it's
highest rated
also
game.
a remake. And a lot of people out there are like, well, you can't make a remake game of the year.
Me included.
And I
don't think
Sekiro,
that.
I think Sekiro was just the safe choice. It's a From Software game.
You forgot about Control.
Control's ass.
It's not.
Garbage.
It is not.
No, I mean, I think Control was the one that I honestly, especially after IGN gave it Game of the Year a couple days before the show.
Yeah.
I thought Control would probably going to take it, and we would still all be wrong. But apparently, I was wrong. I think that Sekiro.
They went home with awards.
I think that Sekiro is just like, hey man, it's a Dark Souls like game
Did
made
Dark
by the
Souls
Dark
3
Souls
win
people.
Game of the Year?
No.
No.
That should have.
Well, actually, what I said was that if anything, so a lot of people are talking about how Sekiro was just like a perfect execution of this formula, but I was like, but Bloodborne didn't get it in 2014, and among the circles of people
What
that
else
I
came out in
know,
2014? What would have been nominated for Game of the Year in
Dragon Age
2014?
Inquisition one.
yeah,
That one Game of the Year?
yeah.
So wait, last one was
Shadow
the
of
year
Mordor
before.
was 2014.
Last
Oh,
one-
was Shadow of Mordor the one that won in 2014?
No,
I
it
thought Last
was
of Us
Dragon
came out
Age
in
Inquisition.
2013.
2013.
So why wouldn't it have been up for Game of the Year?
No, it won the
'cause it
award
came out
in
early.
2013. It came out in
okay,
June.
You're right.
But I
I'm
think it's-
thinking movie style.
no,
next
but I was
year.
talking more about how like people still talk about Bloodborne with this reverence that it's just like, and people still talk about Dark Souls with that love. But like Sekiro came out this year, and it's just like I don't know. Like I just feel like in 5-10 years, people aren't going to remember that game the same way they even would like Death Stranding. Like it's just
maybe.
I feel like a good game
It's not
isn't
about
good
being
enough.
remembered though.
it's about being the
good.
Game of the Year. Yeah.
That's not good enough. They
doesn't
should
matter if
make
people-
a statement of
No,
some
but
kind.
But that's the same thing of being like this movie or game came out early on in the year, so it shouldn't win. That doesn't mean it's.
I
Not
bet
the
you could
best
think of
game the
100
year.
movies that you
Yeah.
think will be remembered way more that never won any sort of critical acclaim. It's the same kind of thing. It's like remembrance and critical acclaim are not the same thing.
No, and in the moment, it's obviously very hard to know what's going to like. But
Yes, exactly.
But it's just like even by now, it seemed I don't know. It just kind of seemed like a settling. I don't like.
I mean, I know there are a lot of people out there that really like Sekiro.
Sure. I bet it's great. Like I do, and
does seem
I'm
a
not
bit
saying that.
settling.
I'm not even saying that in a condescending way, even though it sounds like it. I think it's just more like maybe it feels like it also there's people aren't on the other side of it in the same way these other games are, which is what you were saying. It's like
Yeah.
I've seen arguments about
yeah, it
Outer
has a
Worlds
lot-
and
exactly. It doesn't have as many divisive opinions.
Yeah.
I agree. It does that point there makes it seem like settling.
I get the lack
but-
of boldness.
I mean, Dark
maybe
Souls is so universally acclaimed at this point that it's almost like a detriment to be on the internet and be like, you know what, Dark Souls sucks. Because
you're in a very small minority at that
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
So like, you know
You know what? Now that
if
I'm
you're-
thinking
if you're
about
a
it, the
collective-
original Smash is the best one.
if you're a collective like IGN and you're all voting on which game you're gonna send to the Game Awards to fucking get nominated or whatever, it's hard, you know.
I know.
And I mean, they voted Control, so clearly.
I've heard more people this year talk about fucking Void Bastards than Sekiro. Like, it just seems like...
Yeah, but talking about it doesn't mean it's not good or bad.
No, I know. I'm not saying talking about it is good or bad. I'm just saying, like, socially and culturally, this game doesn't seem like it's...
I mean, also, you got to remember that the talk about Sekiro got drowned out by that whole difficulty thing.
As always comes with...
That was a stupid argument.
It was a stupid argument.
Yeah,
But that kind of drowned out a lot of the talking about Sekiro at the time.
right.
Because there were a lot of people who were very into Sekiro.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who are still very into Sekiro. But not many people beat it, myself included, because
Yeah.
it's fucking hard.
It's fucking hard.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back and finish it up.
Yeah. Maybe it was like, remember when Leonardo DiCaprio won Best Actor for that stupid movie with the bear in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, that movie sucked. And I'm like, yeah, but he's a good actor and he hasn't gotten an award in a while.
Yeah.
Maybe this is like From Software's Gimme Award. You ever think of that?
Maybe, as far as I know, they haven't won a Game of the Year award yet, despite the fact that they've been making acclaimed games for like decades.
Yeah, maybe
so.
this is just
That's
like
not a bad point.
Maybe it's like we're really sorry that Dark Souls never got an award, and we're really sorry that Bloodborne never got an award. So here you go. In a year
Yeah.
filled with very divisive games and games that really like nobody can agree on, they're
Yeah.
like,
This
we'll
is
just
the
give it to
same.
From Software
That's
because they
not a bad
deserve one.
fucking point.
Yeah.
And that's not a fan vote, right? It's
No.
not fan vote.
It takes fan votes into consideration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're. I don't think they're very.
Which
heavily
means they don't give
weighted.
a fuck about the fan vote.
Yeah.
No, that's actually a
No,
really
the
good
fans
point.
voted for Fire Emblem because they're all stupid.
Yeah, exactly. If we let the fucking
That includes
mob roll,
most of our friends.
Well, if you listen to it, come at me.
If you
hit me in
let the
face.
mob roll, ramen noodles be president.
Yeah, dude. Fire Emblem is trash. Come at me.
So, last thoughts, Chris. What do you think?
I think you're wrong about mobile games.
I agree.
I don't see you play a lot of mobile games.
I'm just kidding.
I play a ton of
don't.
mobile games, dude.
Here, let me look at the games folder on my phone. Gamers Rise Up is what it's called. It just has Hearthstone, Steam Link, and the Xbox app.
All your bases are covered.
Yeah.
I have this
Oh,
entire
the whole
page
lot
is
of them.
games. And then that's also a game. That's the Rink game where you play hockey with James Harden.
That's game of the year.
Yeah, we
next
talked about that
next
today.
year.
Now, final thoughts. Like I said, it was a little boring. I didn't really care who won, and I'll feel the same way next year.
You know what they should have fucking done? The announcements were weird and all over the place.
Like the
And
pacing
they
of
were
it.
all like, it's weird because they were all new, and yet at the same time, they were all very old. Or it's just like every announcement was for a game where it's like, ooh, this is from a new studio that I've never heard of. And it's a game that I've never heard of. And then that dude who runs studio that you've never heard of comes on stage and goes, we're making it's like Diablo, but like there's a different stuff in it. You're a cowboy. And then they would be like, it's like XCOM, but you get to play as Marcus Phoenix. And then, you know, and then they'd
Yeah.
be like, it's fucking...
It's like Xbox,
This almost
except
like-
the box is longer.
It's almost as like this is exactly what I'm complaining about. Where it's like,
Sure, but like we're getting new stuff and at the same time we're getting old stuff. I think they needed one or two more bombshells in there where they like if that Batman game had been included, you know, or
and
something.
this is why Disco
Or
Elysium
hell,
probably
Half-Life-
deserved to win all its awards. It's kind
imagine.
of...
Well, imagine if Half-Life Alyx made its debut here.
Yeah,
That would have been.
that's what I'm saying. You know what I would have done? I would have taken the Xbox Series X announcement and I would have pushed it to the very back
Very
and put
end,
that
yeah.
fucking Fast and Furious game right at the front.
Yeah, get that bullshit
And
out of the
then
way.
Have Vin Diesel come out right at the beginning and give best esports presenter or whatever fucking award he won, and then let Phil Spencer give Game of the Year.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
then and be like, by the way, new Xbox bitches, and then
Yeah.
that would have been
That's
like
a good
lot
point.
more of a. They like shot their wad all at once,
They
and we're like,
did.
here's the new Xbox, and then we're like, oh shit.
Now,
yeah,
and
there's
one
gonna-
more thing is a tie-in Fast and
yeah,
Furious game.
we're like, oh shit, dude, they're getting that out of the way early. It turns out that it was just poorly paced
yeah,
because like
exactly.
Yeah.
that was clearly the biggest.
Maybe they were
announcement.
afraid it was going to leak before the end of the show.
Maybe. Somebody's like, fucking Phil Spencer's here and he's wearing like a blazer, but there's a t shirt under it.
What does that say
and
under it?
it?
It
Says
says
Series
Series?
X. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm going to say just about, and I know we've talked about Baba endlessly in the other 2 episodes, but we were having a discussion, Austin, we were talking about the subjectiveness of like what game of the year is, but like when we were talking about like objectively, like despite the fact that it's technically not our games of the year, that is the objectively the best game that came out this year. Like
Yeah, the game is perfect.
It is a flawless execution of a new idea.
Yes.
Like and it's funny because I was thinking about this.
Hot Button's game of the year.
Yes, I can say that.
Yeah, I would say that Bob is probably not my personal game of the year.
No, it's not mine, but
it's the one
it is
the
the
three
one
of
that
us
I-
all agree on the most.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Hot Button. That's official. We'll
Hot-
write that down
Hot
for next
Button's
year.
official
Hot
game of the
Button's
year.
official
We
game
should
of the
put
year.
that on
Bob
it.
is you.
Yeah. But what's funny is I was watching this, and I'm lucky enough that a lot of the nominations still meant a lot to me. Like, you know, and that like I am happy to see like the people who are creating the games that I love get some amount of recognition, whether or not like that's even personally important to them is just something I like to see. I like to see people who create art that I appreciate get rewarded or acknowledged in some way.
Sure. And those Estonian people who made Disco Elysium. Good for them.
Yeah.
Are they Estonian?
Yeah.
I think Disco Elysium probably deserved it all. It seemed to be the most unique out of all of them.
Sure,
if we're going
I
by
guess
that
it's
route.
good that you say that word because it's like we just spent the last like hour kind of arguing. I know me especially, but it's not like I want to pull an award from someone's hand and give it to someone else. Like it's not.
No,
you know.
like I said, Disco Elysium, I do not have the patience to play that game.
By
But
sa-
from what I heard, I can see why they deserve an award.
Yeah, just like saying anything that you know that Call of Duty does sound great still. You know, Beat Saber's still fun. Like I'm not.
He said it.
He said it. Isolate. That's my new text tone.
But
You can have a lot of them.
what's
Yeah.
funny is that obviously you guys know me well enough to know that I was rooting for Smash and Resi the most as far as our big award goes.
No, you voted for Outer Worlds.
Well, that was what my bet was. But part of me still kind of wanted Death Stranding. Just because, like,
Yeah.
not just because I played more of it, but just because a lot of the games that we talk about, there is a, like, I don't know, there's a blueprint or foundation for what those games are built from. Like, you know, and it sounds super reductionist, but, like, and I'm saying that even about games I love, but things like The Outer Worlds is just a like, hey, they like perfected the craft of making the game that they've been making.
Outer Worlds
but-
is kind of like a Strand game, but there's RPG elements, there's shooting, there's
Right.
sci-fi dialogue options.
It's like, but it's like a lot of these games are still a little like safe in some way. Like it's like, you know, Sekiro is a great fucking game, but it is built from something that existed.
It is. It's like a Strand game, but it's got really high difficulty, really slow combat. It's all frame perfect. It's got a cool Japanese aesthetic.
But I think part of me would have really cracked up at seeing this super risky $150 million avant-garde fucking thing that only a lunatic would think of like winning a Game of the Year award.
He won
Yeah.
Best Direction.
He did. And
He got to go on stage and have that fucking translator dude. That dude made up half the shit he said.
oh, Kojima would talk for
Kojima
like
talked for like 10 minutes, and that dude was like,
thanks.
all right,
Thank you.
Time out. Weird side thing, okay? Kojima only works with Americans, let's say, in this weird universe I'm creating. And really, he's just like this normal, shy dude. And the translator is the insane art guy. And Kojima's just like, all right, let's make a game, you know, where it's just like an American soldier with a cool vest and he's got a gun and he shoots some guy. And the guy's like, all right, check it out. This guy's going to be named Snake. And he's got a glass shard sticking out of his head and an eye patch this time. And then Kojima's like, no, that's not what I want. He's like, that's definitely what he wants. He's just eccentric. You guys don't understand Japanese.
This is just all revealed. He is supposedly doing a horror game next,
Yep.
which I'm very,
Smash
very
Brothers
excited.
is a Strand game
Damn it,
with
you
Pikachu in it.
Because Smash Brothers is the most like perfect package of what all those games have been leading to, right? Like it's.
I think, did I say Smash Brothers was my pick of the year for game of the year?
I think you
I
did.
think so. Yeah, it
'cause
was mine
I
too.
still stand by that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
and-
the most fun I had this year from a game that came out.
Me too.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And I'm saying that as like Resident Evil's probably my favorite series, and Smash is
Anthem.
like. Yeah, it's your Anthem. But it's just
Anthem's like a Strand game, except there's nothing.
It's like,
Except there's no
it's like a
content.
Strand game, but ancient people singing songs, and my mech guy's got a gun.
And there's no content.
But yeah, I'm glad Death Stranding still got some recognition, and I know there's still tons of people out there that vehemently hate it. I think
I hate it.
creating
Even though
a
I
game
said
that
it's my game of the year
challenges
last
the idea that like they don't need to be fun all the time, like video games like is just like kind of
the year
an
is Devil May
absolute.
Cry because that game takes itself the least seriously out of any video game I've ever played.
What about
in,
Mortal
like, 5
Kombat
years.
11?
No, that game takes itself too seriously.
That's true.
But yeah, having things that don't feel like products is something I tend to be super drawn to in these times. And
Yeah.
I think that there are a lot of studios and a lot of very creative individuals working in the industry that are still forced to try and desperately figure out a formula to success. And I think like having a game out there with that scale that's like actively not really searching for success is something I find endearing. But
Nice.
been a great year for games. I think a lot of people have openly talked many times about how 2019 sort of feels like, but it's like even when I look at, I still am struggling to make a top 10 list myself. So
If anything, 2019 feels kind of because I think
just a
the
little
games that
safer.
no, the opposite. I think that the games that come out this year have been a little bit more directed towards people, not directed like
like more like they're focused on
like
a more
Outer
particular.
Worlds and Sekiro
They're all
and Smash.
they're all reaching
and Death Stranding
specific
are
demographics
going
of people.
A little bit more specific in terms of demographic, and
Okay.
I think the fact that like this is going to be the first year in a while where like every outlet is going to give a different game of the year, and I think that's cool.
Sure. Yeah, actually, maybe you're right. Like,
Yeah.
I think that, like, maybe not having a universal blanket just sort of thrown over, like,
Yeah, there's no game this year that like the last time this happened was the time that Dragon Age Inquisition won in 2014 when it was Bloodborne, Dragon Age Inquisition, Shadow Mordor. Like, I mean, a lot of people love Bloodborne, but like that is all very specific games for specific.
but, like,
people.
Fucking travesty that
but
Shadow
when you look
Mordor
at-
didn't win over.
But when you look at, like, 2016 when Overwatch came out and 2017 when Breath of the Wild came out, like, they kind of took it everywhere,
Right.
And then, but yeah.
Or even like a bunch of heavy hitters like 2013 when it was like Last of Us and GTA 5 and
Yeah.
Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
Gonna have
Fuck
another
yeah.
one of them next year.
Yeah. I mean, this was our end of the console cycle, right? This was the last hurrah for the Xbox One and the PS4, and now next year will be a even weirder year,
Yeah.
I guess,
was like,
to see where this all goes.
Yeah, that was like 2015 when it was like, hey, The Witcher came out. No one remembers what else came out.
All right, Austin, you've tallied it up. You've got our scores written down. Mm-hmm. How did we do? I think we all know who the victor is
How
already.
much did I win by?
Yeah.
All right.
Where did we fall?
So let's do this in television fashion where we're going to reveal the third and second, then go to commercial break, and then we'll come back and reveal. No.
Yeah.
In third place with 8 points,
It's me.
Randy.
Woo!
I just voted with my fucking heart.
In second place with 9 points,
Yeah.
God.
myself.
Beat him.
Damn it.
And in first place with a whopping 13 points,
The double digits, baby.
Chris. There you go. You know the most about the video game industry.
That's it.
How's it feel?
It doesn't feel good.
No.
It just means that, like, I just know too much about consumerism, I think.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to all the winners and nominees.
And me.
And to
The
Chris.
best winner of all.
Yes.
Yeah, it feels good. Hold on, I'll give my speech. Thank you.
Make it shorter, a little bit shorter than
It
Reggie's.
feels good to video games are important. All right. And
In the beginning.
oh, okay. Yes. Also, video games do some things with the industry.
Jason, just start editing music just to run him off.
And
the
the
stage.
joysticks and buttons. And I love the big game. I love the Game Boy. And I like to thank Game Boy.
The company.
I want to thank Halo, Master Chief Collection. Wrap it up. Somebody told me to wrap it up. All right. My award is deserved
More than everyone else.
more than anyone else. I think they made the best decision by picking me and only me.
Oh, you've heard it, guys. Chris won, and Outer Worlds and Zip.
Yeah. Technically, in the Game Awards, I've won more awards than the Outer Worlds.
There you go.
All right.
But thank you for listening to us prattle on. I think that is the end of our 3-part series. We will be back next week with our
Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
yes.
Was a good episode.
Yeah. So we got some
Check that
stories
out.
to run everybody through to the end of the year, and then we'll be back with some new and crazy shit.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a lot of cool announcements we'll be doing. A lot of cool shit in 2020. So keep an ear out. We got a lot of good stuff planned. I think you guys will be really excited.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah, keep
Did you say that last
keep
time?
an eye out.
Yeah.
Keep an eye open.
Use your eyeballs.
Gripping your pillow tight.
Keep it.
Use your eyes for our new content. And then people are going to be like, what does that mean? And they'll find out Hot Button Jarred Eyes is our new product for 2020.
We're launching a line of sunglasses.
We have a website, hotbuttoncast.com. You can go there and find all our shit.
If you go to the new shop tab, you can find pre-orders for eyes.
No. That is not a thing. Don't listen to them.
But you can find the previous 2 episodes.
Yes, you can find the previous
for
2
our,
parts.
all of our Game of the
The
Year
previous
coverage.
50 episodes.
Yeah, and the previous 50 before that.
And you can find links there to a bunch of different services, but you can subscribe to this on any podcast service you want. And also links to all of our social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Hot Button Cast.
You can submit a topic.
Keep an eye on them so that you can hear about episodes like today's episode where we had to delay it a week because the Game Awards were on Thursday night. We couldn't release it on Friday.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jeff.
Or you can hear more about what our plans are going into 2020 and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
keep an eye on that, and thanks for listening.
Thanks, Jason J. Bird Domenico.
Yeah, thank you, Jason, for editing.
This 28 hours of recording.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.